away we go. So my name's Ariel. You can come down onto your belly. I already need to ditch a layer. And we'll get started there. You can have your hands underneath your forehead, like so, elbows wide. And once you land, you can let your heels just kind of splay out to the side. Let your belly soften onto your mat. Let your low back soften. Have your nose face down. I'm going to turn my head just so I can talk to you, but you should do straight on just so we can keep nice even alignment in the neck. And as you settle here, don't focus or don't worry about anything besides your breath. Start to bring a little bit more space and time between the top of your inhale and the bottom of your exhale. And maybe you do a little bit more of that warming breath in the back of your throat as you exhale. It's like you're trying to fog up a mirror, but with your mouth closed. Take 2 more slow, even breaths. And then from there, you're going to notice your heels, they're naturally splaying out. Start to pull the heels in towards the midline. Maybe you walk your feet a little bit closer together so they're more in line with your hips. And then drop your tailbone down like you're a sad puppy, kind of pulling your tail in between your legs. There's a slight lifting and bracing of the belly. Just notice that pulling away from the mat. And try to maintain that as you reach your fingertips towards your toes. So your shoulders roll up, back, and down. And then lengthen the crown of your head towards the top of your mat. Check back in with your tailbone that you're dropping the tailbone, you're lifting the belly button in and up. And then reach your fingertips 1 more inch towards the back of your space. Maintain this lift of the shoulders and the chest, and then sweep your arms out in front of you. So you're hovering your hands over the floor. That will, of course, make your lever longer and things more challenging. And then you can drop your hands down to the floor, release all of that effort in the back, and let your head just come down. It feels weird to be here, but it will make sense in a moment. And then from here, you're going to keep your right hand onto the floor. You're going to roll over onto your right side. You can use your left hand to help make that happen. And here on your side body, just let your head rest on your arm and stack your hips and stack your legs and bring this left hand by your side and just notice what it takes to find your balance here. And it might not take much for some of you, but for others of you, you might find a little bit of wobble. So just kind of be aware and notice that this elbow kind of rests in the crease of your side body. And stay for a couple of breaths, just being aware of the effort or lack thereof it takes to stay here. Notice if your shoulders start to rise up and start to drop the shoulders down. And once you feel quite settled and balanced, just take another breath. And then we'll reach this left arm out in front again, roll over onto your belly, and roll over onto your left side. Same thing, right hand lands onto your thigh, elbow into the little side crease you have here, and then your head will just rest on your upper arm. And see if you can find a moment of stillness. You might not be able to because balancing takes effort. You're always balancing, you're never actually balanced, so that takes some effort. Once you've found that balance, take an inhale and an exhale. And then roll back onto your belly. Check back in with your drop of the tailbone, feet in line with your hips, belly button lifting in and up. Maintain that and then reach the fingertips in front of you. Your hands will then actually float off of the floor. Stay here for an inhale. And then lift the legs up and off the floors. Notice if that starts to land into your low back and see if you could drop the tailbone a little bit, just so you're not kind of crunching the low back. And then roll over onto your right side. You're going to keep the same position here of your arms and legs. So you're almost holding a handstand, but on your side body. And so here this takes a little bit more work to balance. Just play with it here. Legs are squeezing together, hands and feet are lifted off the floor. You're gonna roll over onto your belly and then right over to the left side. So you're holding, squeezing the legs together, you're lifting. There's a slight side bend of this right side. Stay for their inhale. And then over onto your belly and over to the right away. Good, good. You'll wobble, you'll wiggle, you'll feel silly doing it, but it's kind of fun and playful. So embrace that sensation of silliness and then switch to the other side. Good, good, good. Hold. I'm gonna have you do one more on each side. Make sure you're breathing. That's the most important part. Reach, reach, reach. You're long and you're getting tired probably. That's normal, so stop. Stay, stay. Inhale. And exhale, and then roll over onto your belly. Take your hands underneath your forehead and just take a moment to breathe. Good, good, good. And then from here, place your hands underneath your elbows. Push yourself up to a tabletop position. And then walk your knees underneath your hips. On an inhale, send your chest forward. Lift the collarbones, gaze to the top of your space. And exhale, drop the tailbone, look towards your belly button, around the upper back and shoulders. Inhale, chest forward. Exhale, drop the tailbone. And maybe as you drop the tailbone here, you tuck the toes and lift the knees an inch or two off the floor and really exaggerate the rounding in the upper back and shoulders. And come on down, inhale, chest forward. And so I'm going to give you the option to lift the knees or not. Either way, you're doing a cat spine. And you're moving on your own breath. Let the breath actually move you. You use the full inhale to gaze forward. Wait for the exhale to come around before you drop the tailbone. Wait for the end of your breath to get the most amount of power to push the floor away and land into your cat with lifted knees or not. Let's just do one more in each direction. Good, good. Coming back to quadruped, nice neutral spine. So a little bit of pushing of the shoulders just so you don't get droopy through the shoulders. A slight drop of the tailbone just so that there's no arch in the low back. And start to bring your right glutes or your right glutes over to the right and your right shoulder over to the right. So there's almost a cinching of the right side waist. Let there be this kind of contraction and really work into that side. So you feel that effort. And they're gonna move over to the left side. So your left side is making kind of a C curve and your right side is lengthening. Just feel that effort kind of squeeze into it. And move over to the right. So you're just really exaggerating this sensation that you would feel in your little C curve here. And over to the other side. Staying, breathing, noticing. One more in each direction. We go to the right. And we move to the left. And from here, just check in to make sure that the hands are really underneath your shoulders. I'm only saying that because I really felt my wrist there, but I think it's because I wasn't in alignment. And from here, lengthen out your left leg behind you. Pluck the toes off the floor to make sure your heel is in line with your glute. And then drop your tailbone a little bit so there's that gentle pulling into the low belly. And we're going to bring this leg down to the ground. Shift the right foot over to the right so it's a diagonal. Bring the left foot down to the floor and reach the left arm up towards the ceiling. So now you're in a modified side plank. Flex your left toes and lift that leg again up and off the floor. Lift and hold. And inhale, lower. Exhale, lift and hold. And inhale, lower. We're going to do 3 more, so a total of 5. On the 5th one, you're going to stay at the top. Here's 4. Hold. The slower, the better. The longer the hold, the better. Stay here. We're going to count from 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and then draw some little circles to the front for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1, and then switch the direction. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Plant that left foot back down and rise up to your modified warrior 2. Find your balance. Lengthen through the crown of the head towards the ceiling. A slight drop of the tailbone will be helpful here. And then reach this left hand down your left thigh. Reach up and over for a reverse warrior. Finding length the whole right side. Knee all the way up to the fingertips. Really exaggerate, send some breath there. Good, good. And then bring this right hand down. Reach the left arm up and over. Find a little side bend on the left side. So you're not quite straight. You're actually a little bit rounded. So you're cinching this bottom waist and lengthening this top waist. Beautiful. And then cartwheel that hand all the way down. And so you land into this 3-legged quadruped. So that left leg is long again. Drop the tailbone a little bit, brace the belly, lift that left leg, hover and hold. Make this movement come from the glutes and lower down. Lift and hold, and lower down. You have 3 more. Lift and hold, and lower down. 2 more. On this last one, we're gonna stay at the top. Squeeze the glute, bend the knee, check back in with your low belly, and then lift that heel up towards the ceiling for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Send knee towards chest, round the upper back and shoulders. Try to kiss that knee, and then lengthen the leg back up to the 90 degrees. Knee towards chest, lengthen the leg back up. Knee towards chest. You have 2 more. Check back with that low belly. I know it looks like mine's drooping, but that's just my tank top. Knee towards chest, rounding back and shoulders. And lift. 1 more. Good, good. And then you can bring that knee right back underneath your hip. Maybe take a cat and a cow if that would feel good. I know it's your glute that probably feels sensation, but don't worry, we'll stretch that later. Beautiful. From here, lengthen your right leg out this time. Pluck those toes off the floor. Check back in with that low belly. Lift, hover, hold, just kind of being aware of all the positions you're stacking your joints. And then drop the right foot back down. Swivel the left foot off to the side so your shin's at an angle. Root down to the left hand, it's underneath your shoulder, and open up to your modified side plank. You're gonna flex your toes towards your shins and lift your right leg up and off the floor. Hover and hold. Inhale, lower. Exhale, lift. Inhale, lower. Exhale, lift. Inhale. Exhale, you have 1 more. We're gonna stay at the top. Lift, hover, hold. Now 5 little circles to the front, like the size of a dinner plate. I heard that recently, and I thought that was a helpful little cue. Good, good, and then switch the direction of that circle, and lift that leg another 1/2 inch. Notice if one side is more challenging than the other, and that is normal. Good, good. Hold for 3, for 2, for 1. Drop that foot down, press through the bottom of the foot, and lift up. So you're in a modified side plank, modified warrior 2. Take your right hand down your right thigh, reach up and over, nice little side bend. Lengthening through that whole left side, knee to fingertip. Open up your chest a little bit so you're gazing underneath your armpit. And then from here, cartwheel the hand down, land into your modified side plank again. Reach this right arm towards the top of your mat and think about almost pushing the floor away. So you're rounding through your right side body. And you're almost cinching through that left side body. Beautiful. Then we're gonna cartwheel the hand down to the floor. You're back to this 3-legged quadruped position. You're just going to lift the right leg using that glute muscle on that right side. Hover and hold and lower down. It's exhale to lift. Squeeze the glute. Inhale, lower. Exhale, squeeze. Inhale, lower. You have 2 more. Beautiful. You have 1 more. Bend the knee. Think about flexing the toes towards your shin, drive the heel up towards the ceiling, lift, and lower an inch. Exhale, lift, and lower an inch. Lift, hold, good, good, you have 2 more. Drive the heel up, brace the low belly, still pushing the floor away, sit active through your shoulders. Good, and then from here, send knee towards chest, round the upper back and shoulders, trying to kiss that knee. And inhale, lengthen, lift that heel up towards the ceiling. Exhale, knee towards chest, kiss that knee. And rise up. Kiss the knee. Good, good, you have 2 more. There's no rush here. You might be a little bit behind or ahead of me, and that's okay. But I will say, I encourage you to take your time. Move through the transitions as if they are part of your exercise, because they are. Knee towards chest, good, good. And then you can lift up 1 more time before you bring that knee down to the floor, moving through a cat and a cow just to kind of reset. Beautiful. And then from here, bring your forearms down to the floor. Lengthen out your legs back behind you. Let your belly come down, let your thighs come down, let your chest move forward. So your belly is lengthening. Your elbows are driving towards your ribs and your collarbones are reaching forward. Stay for an inhale. And then from here, drop the knees down. Actually, before you do that, shift yourself forward a little bit so your elbows or shoulders are just in front of your elbows. You're gonna push the floor away, drop the knees down and lift the hips up and off the floor. Scoop the tailbone, push the floor away and spread the collarbones. You're in a half forearm plank. And then droop from the thighs first, then the hips, then the ribs come forward and the chest moves forward. Exhale, push the floor away, same thing, half plank. Stay for an inhale. And exhale, melt your way forward. That should actually be an inhale technically. As long as you're breathing, I'm happy. Exhale, push the floor away. Find that half plank, stay for an inhale. Stay for an exhale. And then inhale, let yourself pull the chest forward. From here, you could stay with that for 2 more, or you're gonna tuck the toes and lift the knees. Maybe bring your feet about hip distance apart. And push the floor away. You're either in a half plank or a full plank. If you're in a full plank, lift the kneecaps, engage the quads, drop the tailbone, gaze the top of your mat. And then melt your way down. Knees come down first, then thighs, then hips, then ribs. 1 more time, half or full. Staying in it for a moment, feel the activation, all the sensations, and drop the knees, pull the heart forward. Ooh, baby. Take a moment, give your arms a little break, bring your elbows out to the side, back to where we started. Nice big inhale, nice big exhale. And then you roll over onto your right side. This time you're gonna prop yourself up onto your forearm and your bottom knee is going to be bent. Your top knee is in line with that bottom knee and you're basically in line with the back of your mat. Root the forearm down. That's really important so we stay stable in the shoulder. You can already tell just by that little push. Here I'm out of alignment. Here I'm using the muscles around my shoulder rather than just stacking. Well, yeah. Push down and lift the hips up, hip over hip, left arm reaching up. Maybe you gaze up towards that left arm. If all is going well, check out this top hip. I'm only saying it because I noticed it in myself. That's not moving too far back or too far forward. You're gonna lift that top leg up and off the floor, hover and hold, and lower down. Lift and hold, we're doing 5 of these. Same exact movement as before, but now it's more challenging based on our angles. 2 more. Exhale, lift and hold. Good, good. 1 more. And lower down. Bring that hip down. Swivel this top arm to the floor and flip over to the other side. Bottom knee is bent, top knee in line with bottom knee. You're in line with the back of your mat or the front of your mat. Push the floor away. Lift the hips up. Lengthen up. Find a moment of stability, check in. If you need to shift, you want to make sure your joints are stacked, shoulder over elbow. Lift the top leg, hover and hold, and inhale, lower down. It's an exhale to lift. It's an inhale to lower. Exhale, lift. Inhale, lower. Was that 2 or 3? I think it was 3. 2. 1 more. Lift and hold. Beautiful. And then lower down. Bring yourself back to the center. Lengthen your arms out in front of you and just roll over onto your right side. And so if you missed the beginning, this is all side body theme. So if you're like, don't worry, at the end we will get to just the on our backs and on our belly style movements, I promise. So here you are in line with the back of your mat. Your hips are stacked. You're going to lift your top leg and internally rotate from the hip. So your knee starts to turn down towards the bottom leg. And here you have the option to keep this hand on your hip or to keep it towards the floor. Here I want you to check in with that bottom waist, that there's some activity happening here. You're lifting that bottom waist. And then you can lower that foot back down to the floor. So it's point and lift. Keep that internal rotation. Flex and lower. Point and lift. Exhale, flex and lower. Point and lift. Flex and lower. Give me one more. Flex and lower. This time point and lift and stay there. Same idea as before. You're drawing 5 little circles, plate-sized circles to the front of your space. Maybe firing up that outer glutes and then switching the direction of that circle. Beautiful. And then from here, hold for a moment. Lower that leg down just so you get a chance to break on the side. And then lift that top leg back up again. Your bottom leg is going to come up to meet it. And lower down. Lift the top leg. Lift your bottom leg to meet it. Hover and hold. And lower both legs down. We're going to do 3 more. Lift. Bottom leg comes up to meet it. Lower down. You have 2 more. Lift and lift and lower. Last one. Lift and lift and lower. Now you know where we're headed, I bet. Both legs are going to come off the floor at the same time. Squeeze the inner thighs together. Lift and hover. Lower down. Check in with this low waist. We still want activity happening here. Lift and hover. And lower down. You have 3 more. Lift and hold. Notice the sideways working for you, your glutes as well. Lift and hold. Good, you have 1 more. Lift and hold. Beautiful. And this one's a full shebang. The bottom hand stays down. The top arm's gonna reach towards your toes. You're gonna push down to the bottom arm and reach your hand towards that top foot and lower down. So you're making a full smile with your body. Ooh, maybe it translates to your face, who knows? Good, good, lower down. Press down to lift up. I think that's 3. What do you think? 2 more? Press down to lift up. Ooh, we're gonna feel this tomorrow, at least I am. It's been a little while. Lift and hold. Good, good. And then from here, bring your knees more or less in front of your hips. And notice that this top hip should be stacked on top. Usually it means shifting this hip forward just a little bit so you don't end up using your low back. From here, you're just going to keep your heels together and lift your top leg and lower down. Notice if the whole low back starts to come with you. We don't want the whole low back to shift. We want the pelvis to stay as is. It's just this outer glute that's working. So don't worry about how high you go. Just focus on alignment. It's easier for me because I can see myself. So if you want your camera on just for this part, that could be helpful. Good, good. And then from here, open up and hold. You're going to internally rotate from the hip. So your knee is going to stay as is. It's just the heel that's going to come up. And then come back down. Tap your toes together. Internally rotate. And externally rotate. They're both very important. Internally rotate and externally rotate. Final 2. Lovely, lovely. Very nice. And then from here, lengthen both legs. Maybe you take this top arm up and over just so you get a good side stretch. Good. You could just roll over and face the other side. I'm gonna try and face you all, just so I don't feel like I'm being rude for a full 5 minutes. All right. So bottom arm is supporting your head. Your hips are stacked. You're using the back of your mat for measurement if that's helpful. So you're one long line. This top arm could be helping kind of support you here. I like to do that. Or you could put your hand on your hip. That's going to take a little bit more balance. Check in with this bottom waist if there's a little bit of space underneath so that there's activity happening. You're not just slouching into this side body. All right. Then you're going to point your top foot and lift that top foot, internally rotate from the hip and flex the toes to lower. Point and lift, flex and lower. Point and lift, flex and lower. You're not trying to go as high as you can because oftentimes if you go as high as you can, there starts to be some rotation of the hip. We're keeping an internal rotation, so that means you'll probably only go about hip height. And that doesn't mean that you're not as strong. It means you're focusing on your alignment, which is the whole goal. Good. All right, come up to the top. Boom. Give me 5 little circles to the front of your space. Little circle. Picture there's a crayon in between your toes and you're drawing on your wall. Good, good, good. Stay here for a moment and lower down. Just give that hip a little break. Lift the leg up and then bring your bottom leg to meet it and lower down. Check in with this bottom waist again. You want to stay nice and active. Beautiful. Lift and lower. I think you have 2 more. I know you have 2 more. Sometimes I think. This time I know. Good, good. 1 more. Beautiful. Check on this top hip. I'm noticing it myself. You want to make sure it's stacked on top of your bottom hip. Let's lift both legs up, hover, hold, and lower down. Lift and hold, and lower. Lift and hold. This is 3. We have 2 more before we go for the full shebang. I know. It gets exciting. Good. 1 more. Hopefully starting to feel this top waist if you don't already. Good. And then bring this top arm down by your side. Press down to the bottom palm. Press down to lift up. Reach towards your toes and lower down. We have 5 of these. Press down to lift up. Good, good. 3 more. Press down, lift up, try to touch your toes, smile with your body and your face. Yeah. Good. Press down, lift up. Beautiful. Last one. Hover, hold, and lower down. From here, we're going to bring our knees in front of our hips, heels together. Check in with this top hip, it's rolling forward slightly. And then squeeze the heels together and lift your knees up and off of each other, or just your top knee. Lift, hover, hold, and lower down. And you'll play with the angle a little bit. It's not totally in front of your hips. Your heels are still kind of moving towards the glutes a little bit. You have to find that kind of happy angle that allows you to actually open your knees. If it's too strict in one direction, you'll just be kind of like cinched and locked in together. Good, good. Last one, open up. Keep the knee where it is, internally rotate. Start to bring your heel up and around, like it's circling around your knee. And then come back, toes together. Internally rotate and externally rotate. 2, 3 more. Now there's 2 more. Beautiful. 1 more. And lower down. And then from here, roll onto your back, just because you've done a lot of glute stuff and I'm craving a little figure 4 stretch. So bring your right leg up and over your left. Let your head rest down. Maybe you grab for the back of your leg, or maybe you don't. You can either use your musculature to make this happen, or you can just keep your foot on the floor. So take a couple of breaths here into that right upper glute. Check the time. Beautiful. Once you've held for a couple breaths and you feel satisfied, then you'll switch legs. Left leg up and over. Maybe you grab for the right hamstring. And stay as long as feels good. When you're ready, you'll place your feet right in front of your glutes. Drop your tailbone down, so move through our imprinted spine. Flatten out your low back. There's this kind of rib tip connection. Feel that. Stay for an inhale. And exhale, release. Prepare. With an inhale and exhale, drop your low back down. Rib tip connection. Notice if you're pressing through the heels to make this happen, and see if you could stop doing that. Notice if you're working through the glutes, and same thing. Try not to do that. Try to focus on your ribs, your abs, your hip bones, your pubic bones. So all of this kind of center stuff rather than your lower body. Your lower body is strong, so it will try to take over if it can. But we're gonna make our abs just as strong. That's not science. But we'll make it pretty strong. Good, good. Stay here in your imprint. Now press through your heels. Keep the drop of the tailbone and start to shift your hips up a little bit. Push the floor away. Gradually you'll roll through your spine until you're at the top of a glute bridge. Press your shoulders down. Notice if there's a flare in the ribs and see if instead you could drop your tailbone and keep that belly brace. Beautiful, and start to melt your way down to the floor. Rolling through an imprint and releasing to a neutral. Exhale, press your low back down. Push the floor away with your feet. Spread through your toes until you land at the top of the glute bridge. Stay here. Lower your hips down. Find a neutral spine, and then start to look towards the tops of your knees. Maintaining a neutral spine, reach the fingertips towards your toes. You're rolling ribs towards hips, shoulder blades off the floor. Stay for an inhale. And exhale, lower down. Reach towards the toes, rib tip connection, lengthen the back of your neck. And exhale, roll down. Roll up. And roll down. So not much of a break in between. See if each time you come up a half an inch higher. Beautiful. At the next one, stay at the top. Bring your hands behind your head. Clasp your hands and push your head into your hands. Make sure you can still see your elbows and your peripherals. From here, you're just going to bring your right knee towards your chest. Keep your shoulders off of the floor. And lower the foot down. Left knee towards chest. Maintaining some sort of breath. I don't really care where you inhale or where you exhale as long as you're breathing. I'm doing exhale, knee towards chest. That also helps to bring the shoulder blades off the floor. Inhale, lower. Exhale, knee towards chest. Inhale, lower. Finish off on this left side. Inhale, lower. Reach your fingertips forward first. Find your ab prep. And then lower yourself down to the floor. From here, we're going to curl our way back up. Keep your feet on the floor. Take your hands behind your head again. Press your head into your hands, elbows and peripherals. Bring your left rib over to your right hip, and your elbow will kind of follow along with that pattern, but you're rotating around the midline. Bring your left elbow over to the right, your right elbow over to the left side, and your right rib over to the left hip. Rotating around the center. It's not going to be a major movement. Don't you worry. Let's do 2 more on each side. Inhale, center. One more in each direction. Slower the better. As long as you're breathing, you're in a good spot. Reach your fingertips forward. and lower yourself down. You probably feel a little sensation to the belly. I'd say take a moment with your knees towards your chest, just to soften so that we can work just as hard as we need to make our next little sequence happen. If it feels good, you can even circle the knees around the hips. Okay, plant the feet. Have your hands by your side. Look towards the tops of your knees. Roll your shoulders off the floor. Hands behind your head. Same deal. Elbows and peripherals. Bring the right knee towards your chest and rotate your left elbow over to right knee. Drop that foot down and switch sides. So here you do have the support of a foot on the floor, so utilize that support. Push through that foot to then help rotate you over to the other side. Use that little bit of leverage, because why not? You have it, so use it. Switching, left elbow to right knee. Inhale, lower. But shoulder blades stay off of the floor the best you can. One more each side. Lower down, switch. Lower down, knees towards chest, take a moment. And now we're gonna add them together, but without the support of that bottom leg. So, heels come down, fingertips to the front of your space, look towards the tops of your knees, roll your shoulders off of the floor, hands behind your head, right knee towards chest, lengthen out your left leg, or you can go with the version we just did. Maybe try this one, see what happens. Exhale, switch. Exhale, switch. Still trying to stay around the midline. Don't worry about tapping your elbow to your knee. That usually ends up bringing you into more of a cranking pattern and less around the spine. 2 more on each side. We go right. We go left. We go right. We go left. Knees towards chest. Head comes down. Take a moment. Good, good. And then from here, grab onto the backs of your hamstrings. Rock and roll a couple of times. A, because it could be fun and playful. And B, you can eventually rise up to sit up onto your sits bones, like so. Feet as wide as your mat. Hands come back behind you. And let your left leg internally rotate, your right leg externally rotate, and just start to come into almost like a Z position with your legs, chest forward. You can even push into the floor to spread the collarbones a little bit. And then switch sides. Right knee down to the center, internally rotating. Good, good. Then just give me one more in each direction. Taking your time, there's no rush for this good stuff. It's all good stuff. Good, good. And notice if your hips kind of got away from you like they did for me, and scoot your hips back just a little bit. Press your hands and your heels down, push down to lift up. Spread the fronts of the hips. Spread the front of the chest, and maybe you find a little bit of length to the front of your neck. Good, good. And then hips come down. Crisscross your legs. Take a moment to kind of wiggle and jiggle and find a little bit of opening through the hips. You can place your hands on your thighs. You're going to inhale, chest forward. And exhale, round to the upper back and shoulders. Reach your fingertips out in front of you. So there's this little bit of almost cat-like quality to your spine. And walk your hands over to the right. And walk your hands back to center and over to the left. And move back to center. Take your hands back up to your thighs. Switch the cross of your legs just to keep things interesting. And this time, instead of rounding through the back, I want you to lengthen through the back. And you're just going to crawl your hands out in front of you as far as you can, maintaining this length. And start to crawl over to the right. Same thing, but the sensation will probably have shifted to more of your hips than to your back. And move your hands over to the center and over to the left. For me, this doesn't take much. For you, you might need a little bit more. And that is okay. Bring your hands back to center. Some of you might feel fine just kind of planting your hands and moving your feet back behind you into a quadruped. I don't really have that kind of range, so I prefer just to turn around and find my quadruped. It doesn't matter how you get there, but just get there. Hands underneath your shoulders, knees underneath your hips. Tuck your toes back behind you. Find a nice tall plank, so there's a nice drop of the tailbone. There's rooting through the hands, spreading through the fingers. Use your exhale to lift your hips up towards the down dog. Bend the knees a good amount to find a little bit more length through your spine. And maybe pedal out your feet. Taking right heel down and bending your left knee. And then taking left heel down and bending your right knee. So just shifting, checking in. And when you're ready, it's an inhale to shift forward to plank. And exhale to shift back to down dog. 2 more in each direction. We move forward to plank. We move back to down dog using your breath. There's no rush. Inhale, plank. Exhale, down dog. Next time you land forward to plank, stay there. Drop the knees or not, totally your call. Pull the chest forward, bend the elbows. Almost think about rotating the elbows in towards the midline. Ooh, control your way down. And then once you land, you can take your hands out in front of you. Drop the tops of the feet down, pull the ankles in towards the midline, drop your tailbone down, active through the legs. You're going to lift your arms up, hover them over the floor like you're a superhero. Take your hands back behind you, sweep your fingertips towards your toes, lengthen through the crown of your head. Inhale, reach your arms up and overhead like a superhero. Bend your elbows to about 90 degrees, then sweep your elbows, or your fingertips, all the way back. So it's a reach and dive. It's a 90-degree bend. You'll move through that 90 degrees until your hands come all the way back towards your toes. Inhale, reach. Exhale, hover the hands over the floor, 90-degree bend the elbows, reach your fingertips forward. One more time, reach and dive. This time your hands are gonna land underneath your elbows by your lowest ribs. Tuck your toes, drop your tailbone. This could also be a half plank, half or full plank. You're gonna exhale, push the floor away. Step to the board and then hips move up and back to down dog. Take a lift of the right leg up towards the ceiling and then open up that right hip, right heel over to left glute. Maybe you draw a couple of circles on the right side of your space. And then take that right foot down, lift your hips up, lift the left leg up towards the top of the space and circle that knee, open up the hip, get a little bit curious about what's going on. Stay for as long as you're curious about. And then take your feet back down, find a nice down dog, and start to breathe in through your nose and out through your nose. 4-second inhale, and a 4-second exhale. Starting to calm that breath. Use your next inhale to pull you forward to plank. Drop the knees or not, you're lowering as slow as you can down to the floor. Take your hands underneath your forehead. Let your heels just kind of splay out. We're gonna finish just the way we began in your crocodile breathing. Let your low back soften. Let your low belly soften against the mat. Shoulders roll forward. Nice 4-second inhale into the nose. 5-second exhale out through the nose. And here is where I encourage you to stay for as long as your body allows. It's exactly 8 o'clock right now. So I encourage you to stay. And when you are ready to get up and out, make sure it is a slow process. Take your time getting up and off of the floor. And I hope you have a great rest of your day. See you all next week, I hope.